have to cope with. And these are little things too that can sometimes take a person over the edge or just maybe feel too overwhelming. And that's why it's so important to, as soon as you open your eyes or you take that first moment of breath, turn the light on, bring God into your life, give thanks, immediately. So that way, no matter what happens throughout that day, the person, the obstacles, the bills, whatever it is, your light is on. The devil doesn't have an opportunity. And even if it does, guess what? You're smart enough to, you can pray, you can grab a new light bulb, you can replace it. When it seems overwhelming, that's why there's other people. You surround yourself with like-minded people in prayer, and we come together in prayer. Like, prayer is so important and so essential.
It's like we have to keep that light shining, like that song, that one, like, this little light of mine. You remember that song?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it shine. But they want to not let it shine. They want the lights to dim. And that's why I actually love, the warrior mode thing, because it keeps me keeps me knowing that it's okay to be a warrior. I just think, like myself, I just didn't want to, I just was shying. I was shooing the Bible. I really didn't want to do that. And so it took me until, I just thought, I'm really going to die this time. And so that's when I, felt like I'm going to die here. And I've got to get help for that. Like the last time, that's it. And I have a feeling that was just, enough. That was it. And I believe that maybe that might have pushed you into that same thing. I heard you say, like, you felt like you're going to die. So what do you think, Desiree, about that? Like, is it just the deepest parts of us and then we get help? Or I wish we could make it easier for people.
Well, what I have noticed is, and honestly, and it's the truth, is you have to want, that person has to want the help. You have to want it. Like, Brother Bill and anybody could do deliverance, exorcist, whatever it is, and all that, but it's still up to that person. It's still up to us to maintain. Bill can give a deliverance after deliverance, and it works. It's going to work by faith and by God's might. It's going to work, but it's the person that honestly you have to, like, it's within us to maintain it and to follow through. So I always usually describe it as like, and I always like, tell Bill, I was like, oh, you're clean house. Like, he like, I described him as like a lighthouse. I was like, you're a lighthouse for ships that are lost in sea. I was like, you're a carpenter for homes that are broken because he fixes homes. I was like, you have a fountain of knowledge that you share to help strengthen people. And this is what I feel the person that he is and that we represent. He is one of the most modest, humblest people I have ever met. He doesn't ever, you're right, he doesn't ever take credit for things that he does, because he's just, he's a tool, being used by God. Like he everything that he does is through God. If people would just, they have to want to, because once you commit yourself and you submit yourself to God, your life changes, your lifestyle changes, your music changes, the way you speak changes, because you realize the power of your words, what it has. If you say, like, that's one of the things I'm trying to work on. Sometimes, like, it's easy to say, like, oh my gosh, that joke just like killed me. Oh, you're killing me.
Oh yeah.
Right. But we're not realizing that we're actually invoking something and saying something to ourselves. We are bringing in this negativity or this word of like being killing. So, that it can be a opportunity of it being to, like, you're planting seeds and it being, coming to life. So being mindful about what we say. So it's hard. That's why the path is so narrow. But it's okay, because every day we're given a new day, a new opportunity. And even in the middle of the day, you can always correct yourself. It's a lot of mindfulness. I look forward to the day that it's just like muscle memory, and it's just how I am and what I do. I see a lot of people further ahead. I'm new in my journey, not so much new with God, and not so much new as my faith and all that, but it's just practicing these new things to make sure that I am protected. Things can happen that I don't do, but that I may know of, or your surroundings, intermediate family, friends, or people that you're close to. Sometimes their energy, what they have attached to them, can also, if we're not cautious or protective of ourselves with the armor of God, or it could come into your life, or at least for me. So when things happen sometimes within my family, and it sometimes I'm sensitive, so it affects me. Yeah, I will have a spiritual battle, and sometimes it's in my sleep. The only, I guess, the cool thing or the great thing that I want to share is that I'm now saying I rebuke thee in Yahweh's name, which I never said before. I always just try to fight whatever I was fighting in my sleep. And I was woken up, and I was saying that and told that that's what I was yelling out in my sleep.
Ow.
And the other person was praying with me. But I was like, oh, well, that's Bill right there, because I did not know about those words of I rebuke thee in Yahweh's name. I was so like, I was, well, having the dream, I was like, why did I have this? Because I had no recollection of it. And I was like, I don't remember anything. But it just made me say, okay, well, what's going on in my life? What am I not doing? Where's my guard? Where's the sentry down? Like, where is my, my guard lower at? Like, what am I not doing? Or what do I need to do? Do I need to pray more? And what am I listening to? I really am more self-aware, and and as well as like aware of my surroundings, as well as like aware of myself and my actions, because I know it's going to come with me. And if I do like my checklist, like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, maybe I can try doing this. When I say this, that, I mean, am I making God first? Am I being mindful of my words? Am I practicing loving thy neighbor? Am I did I give thanks and praise? Am I blessing the food that I'm eating? Am I eating good food? Am I listening or watching? What did I introduce? And if everything seems to be like, okay, this seems okay, then it's like, okay, who am I around? Like, where's my environment? What's going on with their lives? Or sometimes, I don't know. I mean, it is possible or true. Like, sometimes people just don't like nice people. And so, there's that constant spiritual battle with that.